Starmer out! We want Starmer out! We want Starmer out! We want Starmer out! We...
It's not just the sun shining over London today. There's something else in the air. Frustration. Betrayal. A burning desire for accountability. Outside the gates of Downing Street, a sea of British flags ripples in the breeze. Not in celebration, but in protest. Citizens are gathering in numbers, demanding what some thought unthinkable just a year ago: the immediate removal of Prime Minister Keir Starmer. If this is the grown-up politics Starmer promised, then the grown-ups have clearly left the room, and now the people are rising.
Gentleman there's giving number 10 some stick about the grooming gangs.
Have you noticed it's starting all the relations and appraising us? It's appraising us with certain police officers. What is in the distance? He's appraising us police officers from oppressed people. The police, their job used to be...
Keir Starmer's political career has been one long, polished PowerPoint presentation masquerading as leadership. He campaigned as a man of principle, a man of the people, but once in power, he revealed the truth. He is a technocrat in a tailored suit, a manager where Britain needed a visionary, a bureaucrat when the people demanded a backbone. The man has less charisma than a VAT return, and the moral conviction of a soggy Weetabix. Let us not forget, this is the same Keir Starmer who rode into the Labour leadership by waving the banner of Jeremy Corbyn's populist movement, only to immediately take a match to that banner once it had served its purpose. He gutted Labour of its soul, replacing it with bland centrism, the political equivalent of cold mashed potatoes. His supporters like to tout his competence, but competence at what, exactly? Flip-flopping, saying everything and meaning nothing. He's the political version of that her email you never read. He promised unity but delivered division. He promised hope and delivered reheated Blairism. At this point, the only legacy he's building is as the architect of Labour's most uninspired era. Today's crowd outside Downing Street isn't just a group of fringe activists. It's nurses, veterans, students, small business owners, everyday citizens who've watched this government become a parody of itself. They're waving flags not out of nationalism, but desperation. Their country is in the hands of a man who seems allergic to authenticity, incapable of decisive action, and completely disconnected from the real-world consequences of his policies. Let's talk policy, if you can even call it that. Starmer's platform is so malleable it may as well be slime in a child's toy box. One moment he's tough on immigration, the next he's rebranding Labour as pro-business. Then suddenly, he's flirting with social justice again. The only thing consistent about Starmer is his inconsistency. His approach to leadership is not principled governance. It's political whack, a mole. And let's not ignore the sheer disdain with which he treats the very voters who put him in power. He avoids the press when it matters, dodges questions with a slickness that would make a used car salesman blush, and surrounds himself with advisors who look like they were printed out of a neoliberal algorithm. He doesn't just fail to inspire, he actively depresses. Even his own party is groaning under the weight of his leadership. Labour MPs whisper behind closed doors, terrified of admitting publicly what many already feel privately. Starmer is dragging the party down a rabbit hole of irrelevance. His obsession with optics over action has turned Labour into a soulless brand. Not a movement, not a cause, but a product being marketed to a focus group that no longer exists. It's no surprise then that the British people, patient, long-suffering, polite to a fault, are finally saying enough. The peaceful gathering outside Downing Street is just the beginning. What started as quiet discontent is now a full-throated cry for accountability. And while Starmer hides behind press briefings and platitudes, the public is showing up, loud and unfiltered. Keir Starmer may have underestimated just how fed up the British people are. His manufactured persona, polished for the BBC and repackaged for social media, can't withstand the growing tidal wave of real-world consequences, real pain, and real demands. The truth is clear. Britain is not asking Starmer to lead. It's begging him to leave. And if he doesn't hear them now, he will soon, because the British are rising. And this time, they're not going to be silenced by spin.
I wish to thank all noble lords who have contributed to this very important debate. And I'd like to pay tribute to noble Lord Lisa Easton for a very elegant maiden speech. Of course, the whole point of debate is to challenge consensus, and I'm delighted that I've been able to do was today. And was it Benjamin Franklin who said that when everyone's thinking the same thing, no one's thinking? Yeah. Please just allow me to sum up as follows. Our energy is the most expensive in the developed world, and this is self-inflicted. And it's not fair on ordinary working people who pay the price. It's grotesque and unfair to see billions of pounds in curtailment subsidies going to owners, for quite often foreign-owned wind farms, just because the wind blows too hard at the wrong time. And my lords, we're in danger that net zero, which is a laudable aim, and the purpose of this debate is to say how do we reassess it, not remove it, but we're in danger that the public will begin to see this as the biggest transfer of money from the poor to the rich since feudal times. My lords, we just make no mistake that these green levies and taxes on working people are viewed as being a tax on working people and a drag anchor on our industry, and we mustn't allow that to happen and mustn't allow that to be the perception. Therefore, my argument is simply that 2025 is 25 years away from net zero 2050. This is a good time to reassess the plan in the light of reality and to reevaluate our energy strategy, with the simple objective that we must make it affordable and secure. We're living in different times from when this was moved in 2019. We need to make our energy affordable and security. We need to reindustrialise our great nation. We need to get our proud people back to work. We need to be strong and independent in an uncertain world. We may well need to have to rebuild our military capability to keep us strong and protect our citizens. But above all, we need to give comfort and security and prosperity to all the inhabitants in these islands. Therefore, I say it is high time that this House takes note of the affordability of net zero 2050, and I commend this motion to your Lordship's House.
If everyone is thinking the same, then no one is thinking. Those words, spoken yesterday during a tense exchange with the Energy Minister in Parliament, cut to the heart of the deepening crisis surrounding Labour's dogged pursuit of net zero 2050, a target fast becoming a totem of ideological zeal rather than a measured policy goal grounded in reality. The government's unwavering commitment to full decarbonization, no matter the cost, has become the sacred cow of modern British politics. Energy bills are spiraling, industries are straining, and the country's energy security hangs in the balance. But while the public is tightening its belt, Labour presses ahead with its green agenda, seemingly unfazed by the price tag or the consequences. Take energy security, a term that should be at the heart of any national strategy, especially in a post-Ukraine, post-pandemic world. Under Labour's current trajectory, Britain is trading one dependency for another. By abandoning domestic oil and gas projects prematurely, while becoming increasingly reliant on foreign supply chains for solar panels, wind turbines, and rare earth minerals, the UK is placing its energy future into the hands of unpredictable global markets. And what of affordability? The government's own data shows the cost of net zero could reach upwards of $1 trillion by 2050. Yet ministers dodge the numbers like they're radioactive. Yesterday's grilling of the energy minister offered little reassurance. Only vague soundbites and slippery deflections. What is the cost to the average family? How will grid upgrades be paid for? What happens when wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine? Silence. These are not climate denier questions. They are the questions of a responsible democracy. But in Starmer's Britain, questioning the affordability of net zero is akin to heresy. Parliament has become an echo chamber where groupthink thrives and dissent is dismissed as backwardness.